What's going on, everybody? Gabriel Santos here, the author of Marijuana Mindfulness, the ebook. And in today's video, I'm going to share with you one reason why it's so hard to quit smoking weed or to maintain discipline and moderation around weed. All right. It's really simple. I actually made a video on this a while back. But in my experience, I'm someone who used to smoke weed every day for about 8 years. And in those 8 years, I took some breaks, 2 weeks, 2 months, whatever. And eventually last year in 2019, I went a year weed free. And just like many of you and many people who I've seen write about this on Reddit or other forums, gaining a sense of self-control and discipline around marijuana can be such a difficult task, especially for people who smoked every day for a long time. Okay, and so the reason why it's so hard, amongst the other many reasons, is because when you smoke weed, you feel really damn good, and your body relaxes, and the mind stops racing, and the sense of anxiety about the future ends, and the sense of grief about our past ends. And for a brief moment, we can find solace and peace and relief from our lives, from our stressful emotions, from our shitty job, from our personal insecurities, from our shortcomings, from our failures, from the responsibilities that we have to do in our lives, right? Marijuana represents this time, this reliable time where we can forget about our problems and be at peace, or we can feel happy. And for some of us, it is the happiest we'll feel all day. And so imagine having to tell yourself, oh, I'm no longer gonna give myself access to the happiest part of my day. Imagine that. What kind of bargain is that? It's no bargain, right? It's a horrible deal. And so it makes sense why it's so hard to make a change, right? Because if our lives are unfulfilling and lack satisfaction and are fueled with more negative emotions, if our lives without weed are fueled with more negativity and stress and sadness, then yeah, it's going to be hard to go on without weed, because weed represents this time where you can actually feel good. And so now here's the challenge, is that it is on us, it is on you, it is on me, it is on the individual to take responsibility for how our lives are going and to actually do something about it. And my recommendation to you, if you're someone who feels like your life is not where you want it to be, and if weed is the only representation in your life of happiness and joy and peace, to me, from my own experience, that's a sign, that's an indicator that it's time to take charge in your life and to learn and educate yourself on how you can create the life you really want, and how you can create more happiness in your life, and how you can let go of sadness and guilt. Because you deserve that. You deserve that. You deserve to actually feel happy, right? And not just because you smoke some weed, but because you have a sense of self-esteem and self-worth and self-respect. So how do you do that, right? How do you do that? Well, I'm not going to dive into that today. But there are plenty of books online. There's plenty of videos here on YouTube, on other channels. Look up Tony Robbins. Look up Ralph Smart. Look up Eckhart Tolle. Read books. Listen to personal development. All the answers to all your problems are there. They're here. They're out here. Most of them for free. All right? But I promise you that if you don't take responsibility, if you keep playing the victim card and you don't take responsibility, and weed continues to be the only thing in your life that makes you happy, you'll always have that feeling in the back of your mind of being unfulfilled. And plus, man, who wants to rely on marijuana? I'm not trying to judge marijuana users. I'm not even trying to judge marijuana. I love marijuana. I love the feeling of being stoned. It's so great. It is. But it's also like anyone can smoke weed and feel good, right? But not everyone takes responsibility and ownership of their emotions and their thoughts and their mind. Not many people take ownership of their actions. Not many people take ownership of how their lives are going. And this is where you have an opportunity to cross that bridge and become someone who takes responsibility for their life and figures out ways to create fulfillment in their lives and joy and happiness and freedom. Because marijuana, as great as it is, it will never be able to triumph the feeling of actually being happy with yourself and your life, and actually feeling fulfilled, and actually having moments of peace. You get to grow. You get to grow as someone who can handle anger and transmute it into something else of higher vibration. All right? You can do it, and I know you can do it. So this really isn't about marijuana. This is about you. This is about you and your life and your ability to learn and develop skills and let go of burdens. This is actually an opportunity, a massive opportunity to grow as an individual to the point where you won't need weed to feel all the feelings that you want to feel. It's worth it too. And then guess what? You can still enjoy marijuana on the side if you like. Nothing wrong with that. Nothing wrong with that. All right? But it is in your best interest to take the time to learn about yourself. Learn how to be better. Learn how to manage emotions and a slew of other things, all right? I hope this video found you well. Take charge of your life. You deserve it. All right? And I'll see you all in the next video. Peace.